With DK back and krool fish food, you'd think the game would be over, but there's a whole new world to explore, far beneath the rest of the island. Clubber stands guard at the threshold, but for the right price, he might just let you pass. This is part 42 of Overthinking Donkey Kong Country 2. From Crocodile Cauldron on, you'll see this guy on the overworld map. Clubber's kiosk is prohibitively expensive when you first find it, but save up enough bonus coins and Clubber will let you through. Each world is a gateway to a different level of the Lost World, and so this section of the game can be played parallel to the main adventure, with the first level being available as early as after Canon's claim. That first level, Jungle Jinx, is what we're talking about today. Not my best segue, but whatever. I'm on track to having written well over 200 videos this year, so not every line's gonna be Shakespeare. Jungle Jinx is our first jungle level, the final non-boss tile set to be introduced in the game. It looks awesome and the music is awesome, but jungle or not, this is a stark contrast to Jungle Hijinks. Everything's jagged and gross, and just generally a more hostile picture than the jungles of DK Island. Crazy to think that this is what the Kremlings likely traded that island for. You can see why they'd hold a grudge, but that's something we'll talk about later. The jungle theme is the main lure here. But as for gameplay, it's all about spikes and tires. What I love about this is how tires were a big part of the first game, and spike traps are so prevalent in old platformers that they're almost a cliche. But in DKC2, both are relegated to essentially an optional secret level. DKC2 never rested on its laurels or repeated itself unnecessarily, and the game was never so skint for ideas that it had to lean on established tropes. I mean, the lava world's a bit generic, but they did it so well that it gets a pass. The first tire is introduced in a relatively safe situation. Bounce on it to get the DK barrel. You absolutely can screw this up, and if you get caught between a wall and the rolling tire, it's lights out. Second tire falls down and rolls over the bed of spikes. Game makes it as obvious as it can what to do. Third is a bit more tricky, as you need to use the descending tires to reach otherwise inaccessible levels. Timing's a bit fucky here, and the tires can do you in if you're not careful. So even though there are no spikes or bad guys, it's not exactly a safe run. And that's more or less all you'll need to know about the tires. Throughout the level, they're used creatively, but it's all variations on the same core ideas. Traversal, be it to reach new heights or to get over spike pits. Interesting thing about the Lost World is that their DK coins are located in bonus areas. Makes sense, seeing as you won't be using bonus coins from the Lost World to get into the Lost World. This one has a warmer, more yellow palette that looks like dawn light to me. I really dig it. I think it's here that the B story of Donkey Kong Country 2 takes place. We see, for the first time, evidence of the ancient Kremlings that inhabited the island. If you're coming at this series from the Overthinking DKC series, then you know my theory of the ancient war between Kong and Kremling, and how the latter may have been pushed out of DK Island. This could be where they settled. If you haven't seen my Overthinking Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Land series, let me quickly get you up to speed. The ruins levels in DKC show the Kremlings have been on DK Island, though it would have been hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. It's quite possible they first came to DK Island from Kremlantis, when it went under the water. There's evidence in both games to suggest that the ancient Kremlings had access to powerful magic, something that is backed up in this game too, as we'll see later. For whatever reason, they left or were forced off DK Island, and settled here, on Crocodile Isle. The stuff we see on the surface, the main game, gives us little to work with, as the modern Kremlings, devolved and reduced to piracy, have likely destroyed or done away with any semblance of their original culture. That's why it's only here, deep in the hidden core of the island, that it survives. Part 42 and our first steps into the Lost World are complete. We've got 4 more levels left here before we take a massive detour, then finally circle back for the final fight. Jungle Jinx is a reference to the first level of DKC, Jungle Hijinks. I couldn't think of how to work that into the script, so I'm just saying it here. Have a good day, stay safe, catch you in the next one.